So
Absolutely.
tell me, I know raising money, sometimes some people call it the huge gorilla, the huge elephant. But if you want to eat an elephant, you start with the smallest aspect of things.
That's right. One
They,
bite at a time.
so tell me how to legally raise money for my first deal. For those who have been in live, they are newbies. There are people that are trying to get into syndication. Uh, Let them know as a syndication attorney what it means to raise money within the confines of the laws of the land.
So most of our clients have come to us from some type of a training program or a background where they've gotten some experience or maybe teamed with some other people, or they have a coach that's teaching them how to buy the real estate. So we kind of take over after that. So somebody else will give them the education, or they'll get self-knowledge on how to actually acquire the type of real estate they want to buy, and how to generate a profit with that. And then where we come in is, now that they know what they're going to do, let's say they've selected multifamily, or they've selected industrial parks, or whatever it is, it doesn't matter, that once they decided this is my niche, then they'll come to us. They'll usually get something under contract. So they'll go out, they'll find a property, they'll get a purchase agreement on it, or at least get an accepted letter of intent. And then they'll approach us and say, okay, now I need to raise $1 million or $2 million in order to be able to buy this property. Usually they're going to be getting some kind of a bank loan on it. So that's going to cover 65 to 75% of the purchase price, but then they're going to have to fund that difference. So they've got to fund the down payment. There will be closing costs. When you're syndicating a property, you can collect an acquisition fee. There's going to be whatever capital improvement budget they need to raise in order to improve the property, make it perform better than it was before, which is going to help generate profits for their investors. And once they figured out what that dollar amount is, then they'll come to us and say, we've got this property under contract. It's a $4 million property, and we need to raise $2.5 million. And this is what we're going to do with the money. They'll need to figure out how that property, do some projections, how that property is going to perform over time. And then that will help us understand how they're going to be able to split that money with investors, making sure that there's enough cash on cash return that investors can participate in the deal. And then also they'll propose what their exit strategy is. How many years do they plan to own the property? What is the exit strategy? Are they going to sell it? Are they going to try to refinance it? And, are they going to try to 1031 exchange it? So there's multiple options for that as well. But having all those three financial pieces together, what are the sources of funds and the uses of funds for acquiring the property? What are our 5 to 7 year projections for how we think the property is going to perform? And what is our proposed exit strategy? That helps us figure out how to split money with the investors. So then they'll come to us, and we'll explain to them what the structure is for a typical real estate syndicate. This would be called a specified offering, where they're raising money for one specific thing. So we would help them then figure out how to structure that company. There's usually going to be at least 2 LLCs. And then we would draft the operating agreements for those. We would help them understand where to form them. We would form the companies for them and get all that piece in order. So that's the corporate part. So I'm a corporate securities attorney. So we handle the structure. And then the second part is the securities compliance. So securities compliance involves understanding what the securities rules are that apply to your offering. So whenever you have passive investors in a deal that are relying on you to make a profit, then you're selling them securities in the form of investment contracts. So this investment contracts, when you know that you're selling somebody interest in your company, they're passively investing, they're relying on you to generate the profit, or you and your management team, then you're selling them these investment contracts. Now you have to comply with securities laws. So what does that mean? Well, that means that you either have to register the offering and get pre-approval from regulatory agencies, or you have to qualify for an exemption from registration. So all of our real estate clients are using the exemptions because
Okay.
you don't have time to get your company registered. It would take, many, many months and, maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars to take a company public. And then you've only got 90 days to close on a property.
Yeah.
So you can come to us and we can help you select an appropriate exemption, help you understand the rules of that exemption, and then you are able to legally go out and solicit investors for that deal.